Hello everyone, Rex here, and welcome to the channel Rex Tactics. Today's video is going to be a little bit different from what we normally do because we're going to be trying out some speculations. So today's video speculations is all going to be on what possible UK routes might we see for Train Sim World 6. So how this is going to go is I'm going to go through 3 possible routes that we could get for the core DLC route, and of course the Deluxe Edition DLC Loco as well. Then at the very end I'm going to go through a route that I would most love to see in Train Sim World 6 after it's released. So just a little bit of a disclaimer here, or speculation here, nothing announced yet as we are waiting for the Dovetail Direct stream on August 26th. So if you are enjoying today's video, please do make sure to hit the like button and subscribe and comment down below what you would like to see in Train Sim World 6. So without further ado, let's get into the If You Are New Here section. So I'm Rex and I cover Train Sim World 5 and Star Wars Battlefront. I've been doing this now for nearly 2 years on YouTube, and I've been a fan of Train Sim World since Train Sim World 3. My favourite diesel is obviously the Class 142, and my favourite electric multiple unit is the Class 91. Okay, enough about me, let's speculate on the UK route speculation idea 1. So when Train Sim World 6 was first announced, my first thoughts were that we could be getting a Newcastle to York and Middlesbrough route. Now this would be operated by London North Eastern Railway, or LNER for short, Cross Country and Northern Trains. We now have all 3 of these licences in Train Sim World, so it is quite possible that we could be getting this. So we could include the Tees Valley Line rolling stock, so we would see Bishop to Saltburn services. Will be either modern day or set in 2019 for the best timetable experience because, well, you know, why not? Will involve the already in-game Class 801 because, well, why not? I mean, the 801 is a fantastic loco. We'll make use of the Northern and Cross Country licence, including the LNER licence as well, so that'll be pretty good. Can include parts of the TVL or the full TVL for added playability if possible. And the distance between Newcastle and York, so not including the Tees Valley line, is apparently 18 miles, going off Google on this one, sorry. Will include 7 stations, which includes both Newcastle and York, and could make way for an extension to the other East Coast Mainline route we already have. And we could have a chance to possibly see some Trans-Pennine Express and Lumo if those licenses are acquirable. So where would this route go? So this route would start at York or Newcastle, whichever side they want to start from, and would depart on mostly northbound platforms for York and southbound platforms for Newcastle, and would go for stations such as Thirsk, Northallerton, Darlington, Durham, Chester-le-Street, and of course Newcastle, or vice versa would be Chester-le-Street, Durham, Darlington, Northallerton, Thirsk and York. So why this route? This route because you'd have an easy connection for a Carlisle to Newcastle route because we already have Preston to Carlisle in game, so it'd be absolutely amazing if we could connect the West Coast Main Line with the East Coast Main Line via Carlisle to Newcastle. I would absolutely love this. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Also, would include an extension of the other ECML to York and Leeds, which would be fantastic for route hopping, especially since we got Northern Trans-Pennine between Manchester, Victoria and Leeds. And this route would also allow route hopping from York to Newcastle. Also a chance to reuse the Outer One again, as I've mentioned. And of course, a chance to have an up-to-date northern route in the northeast region. So could they include Middlesbrough? Yes, depends on the year, but LNER currently serves trains into Middlesbrough, which could include either just York to Middlesbrough via Yarm or the whole TVL to Middlesbrough from Darlington revamped into modern day. We might never know until it happens. That's if it ever happens. So what rolling stock would we see? So I put together what we would see on the 2019 timetable and the modern timetable. So we'll go through the modern timetable first. We would see the Class 801s, we would see the 802s. If we had a Lumo licence, we would see 803s. Same if we had a Trans-Pennine Express licence, the 802s would be there. We'd have the Northern Class 156, which would be new. The 802s and the 803s would also be new. We'd have a reskinned or brand new Class 158. And of course, 66 for freight. If set in 2019, we would have the Class 142, based off the Transport for Wales Class 142 Pacer. We could have it like reskinned or built from scratch. We'd have the Class 156, which would also be new. HST LNER from 43, reskinned from GWE or HST Farewell Pack. And of course, 66 freight. So what local DLC would we see with this route? So the local DLC for Newcastle and York and Middlesbrough I would like to see would be the Class 91. It would make sense for both routes because the East Coast Main Line that we've got now, the 801s fill in for some Intercity 225 services, so it would be nice if the 91 could actually do its services on that line. Also, would run special services on modern day timetable, should we have a modern timetable rather than the 2019 timetable. Who knows, it could happen, it might not happen, it's just speculation. Would run on the 2019 timetable along with the HSTs. It's been mega requested for ages, so why not? Will be for deluxe edition, and I reckon it will go for around £15 to £20 probably. Will come with a Mark 4 set and 82 DVT, so the drive van basically, and possible to see a 91 plus MK4 plus 82 DLC, and would be in either Virgin LNER or current LNER branding. So we'll go for some honourable mentions. So these are like the trains that are some honourable mentions for the deluxe edition, but I thought they could maybe be integrated somewhere else. So we'll start with the Class 220 and the 221 because obviously everybody wants a Voyager in game. The Class 156, I mean, why not? It's a super sprinter. We've got the 153, so where's the 156? Lumo 803, I mean, why not? Grand Central 180, because you will see them go between Thirsk and York. Only between Thirsk and York, though. And, of course, the Trans-Pennine Express 185. We could have that. We could have that. Right, so let's jump to the UK route speculation idea 2 with Crewe to Rugby, Avanti West Coast, London North Western Railway, Cross Country, West Midlands Railway and Northern Trains. The only licence we do not have is the London North Western Railway licence, so anything like that would appear debranded. So would include mainline and slow line traction, make use of the Avanti West Coast licence, would see debranded London North Western 350s if possible, would see cross-country stock and West Midlands Railway stock, could see Transport for Wales stock and Northern Train stock as well at Crewe. Could open an opportunity for Manchester Airport commuter to be extended to Crewe and West Coast Midland South to be extended to Rugby via Northampton. It's roughly 75 miles, so it's doable in a way. I mean, at least I think it's doable. And would include multiple stations, including Birmingham and, I do believe, Lichfield Trent Valley. So where would this route go? So this would start at Crewe and work its way to Rugby via Stafford, Wolverhampton, Birmingham and Coventry. Why this route? So this route because it can connect West Coast Midland South with Birmingham Cross City and Manchester Airport commuter, plus a chance to see some cross country. Would it go through Tamworth? It's possible considering Avanti West Coast also goes this way, but bearing in mind we have to remember that Train Simul can only do so many large routes, and we don't want this one to basically be too large even for Gen 9 and PC, so whatever they can do and whatever's possible I'm happy with. So what rolling stock would we see with this? So we would obviously see the Avanti West Coast Class 390 would be from the DLC from West Coast Midland South. Debranded 350s, of course. Cross Country 170 and West Midlands Railway 170, which is now available as of the time of recording. Northern Trains 323, Manchester Airport commuter, also some other Northern stock like the ScotRail 158, maybe a brand new 156, maybe, that's if they run in that area. And of course, East Midland Trains 158s from Midland Main Line, and of course, 66 Freight. So what local DLC could we see? Now, of course, the local DLC for Crewe to Rugby I would like to see would be the Avanti West Coast Voyager and the Cross Country Voyager. Would serve services from Birmingham to Crewe from Euston, would add variety, it's a well-requested train, and Avanti version will tilt like the 390 while the Cross Country version won't. And I would also love to see the Cross Country Voyager variant as well with this, because then, you know, not only will we have the Avanti variant, but we'll have the Cross Country variant. So there'll be like chances to see different service patterns and it not being like the same services all the time, if you get my meaning. I reckon it could be placed at around £15 to £20 for both of them, instead of just one each, if you get the meaning, and would be included in the deluxe edition. So now we are at the honourable mentions, in which I'll look at the EMR 170 as an honourable mention. Cross Country 220 and 221, I've put that there anyways. The Transport for Wales Class 82, because, well, who doesn't like a Transport for Wales rail tour? LNWR 730 and West Midlands Railway 730, I think. I'm not too sure on those two, I'm not completely accurate with the numbers. I don't really know very well, so I've just put an I think at the end on that one. So, last but not least, our UK route speculation idea 3. Now, this is a bit of a maybe smaller and linear one, but we'll see what you all think. Likewise, what did you think about route idea 2? Let me know in the comment section below. And route idea 1. So, we're going to be going all the way down to the southern coast of England with the West Coast Way, Brighton to Littlehampton and Bognor Regis. So this one will include the Southern Rail Class 377 and 313. It builds up East Coast Way as a separate route or a joint route, whichever one that they would more comfortably do it. We'll bring in Brighton to Hove shuttle services if we add in like Lovers Walk Depot and of course Preston Park. That would be fantastic. We could add in Chichester if we wanted. Could go as far as Portsmouth Harbour with Portsmouth and Southsea if it was a separate route. We will definitely see Thameslink because they do operate on this line. Could add the branch to Horsham if it was a separate route again. Brighton to Littlehampton would be roughly 15 stations. Add on Portsmouth to make 30. And could add in Lovers Walk and Preston Park for added depot runs. And of course we could have the Brighton to Hove shuttles. Everybody wants them. So where would this route go? So this route would go from Brighton through to Littlehampton and Bognor Regis via Hove, Shoreham by Sea, Worthing and Ford for Bognor Regis part. So why this route? I've been wanting the West Coast Way since East Coast Way. Well, to be fair, we've all been wanting it since East Coast Way and Brighton Main Line, plus chance to see more Southern and Thameslink. Could they add the branch to Horsham? Possible, as those services could start from either Littlehampton or Bognor Regis, again depending if it was a separate route. So what rolling stock will we see? So we would see the Southern Class 313 DLC from East Coast Way, the Southern Class 377 from Brighton Main Line, Gatwick Express 387 from Brighton Main Line, Thameslink 700 DLC from South Eastern High Speed, 66 freight and possible rail tours if there are any. So what local DLC could we see? So we would definitely see a Southern Class 171 because why not? I know Southern Rail has some 171s and we've not long just got West Midlands trains and cross-country 170s, so it could be possible. You never know. It's been highly requested by the community and would add these services to the East Coast Way, South Eastern High Speed at Ashford and Brighton Mainline route. Would fit well with the 170 cross country and West Midlands Railway pack for the Birmingham Cross City. New Southern train since 377/2, which would also be well received by the community and would open up depot runs at Lovers Walk and Hove. So let's put in some honourable mentions. There is only one for this one because with it being such a short and linear route, we could only have the Class 68 freight. That's all I could think of. So that was my predictions for the route DLCs that we could possibly get at the beginning of Train Sim 6. Now, time for my non-release speculation route. I've been wanting to talk about this for a while, and I speculate that we might have Middlesbrough to Whitby and Pickering. So we'd join up with the Tees Valley line perfectly at Middlesbrough, would involve Heritage line between Whitby and Pickering, is operated by Northern Trains Class 156s and 158s, is a line that is often overlooked and is often requested, it would also include regional services to Nunthorpe from Middlesbrough and chance to use TVL stock on the Heritage part of the route. Now, the reason why I couldn't pass this as like a release route for Train 6 is because the route only gets 6 services to Whitby a day, and North Yorkshire Moors Railway only does 3 or so a day from Whitby to Pickering. It's a short route formed of approximately 35 miles and mostly single line with a journey time of 1 hour and 30 minutes from Middlesbrough to Whitby. I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I could be wrong, Whitby to Pickering is about the same amount of like 30-40 minutes. So it's like way less time than it would take from Middlesbrough to Whitby, but of course, yeah, that's also a long service as well. Not long as 1 hour and 30 minutes, but yeah, it's long. So where would this route go? So this route would go from Middlesbrough to Battersby, where the local would then reverse all the way to Whitby via Gromont. The stations would include James Cook University Hospital, Great Ayton, Commondale, Danby, Egton and Whitby, to name a few, including Middlesbrough obviously. So why this route? I personally love the line and I travelled on it in real life. plus a lovely heritage in between Whitby and Gromont. So basically, chance to see both modern day and perhaps backdated stock on one route, which would be fantastic. So could Trainsmall add the Durham coastline to help this route if it was ever made as a Trainsmall 6 release, or if it was made as a sort of like a route but built on it? It would make so much sense, as a few do go from Whitby to Hexham via Sunderland and Newcastle, so it would actually work out for definite. I would love to see that. So what rolling stock would we see for the northern part? So we would only see the Class 156 and the 158, so not a lot of variety there. But if backdated, we could see the Pacer. That's if it was backdated. The North Yorkshire Moors part, there's a lot that you could see there. Class 31 DLC from Tees Valley Line. Class 9F, which would be new. Class 8F from Peak Forest Railway. Class 25, which would also be new. Class 101, which would be under repair. And the Class 08, which is also under repair from the West Coast Mail Line Overshap. And of course an LNER Class A4 Pacific Steam Locomotive, Sir Nigel Gresley, because why not? So would this be a launch route? Definitely no, unfortunately. The route is too small for that, I'd say. The mileage and how long it takes just to get from A to B probably might not be everyone's cuppa on that one. And of course, Heritage Line near the end might also not be everyone's cuppa. Requires a lot of DLC to have on the route for the feeling of it being busy, and that's just on the North Yorkshire Moors part. Possible after Trainsmall 6 release route, so like October, maybe November time. Maybe, you never know. All speculation here. Would require TVL, Peak Forest Railway and a few others for route hop and layers and stuff like that. So it isn't a bad thing, but if you haven't got those routes, then yeah, I can see where people might be a little bit annoyed. And of course, could need Durham Coastline or TVL to make it worth the while. So how much do I reckon they will be then? So Newcastle, York and Middlesbrough, $32.99. I'm just going off by what the prices have been recently. Crewe to Rugby via Birmingham New Street, $29.99. Or maybe Lichfield, Trent Valley. Well, probably even both. West Coast Way, Brighton to Littlehampton and Bognor Regis, $24.99. And then we'll go for the DLCs, which I've already mentioned before. Apart from the 171, which I would imagine being at $11.99 or $12.99 maybe. And of course, the Esk Valley Line and North Yorkshire Moors Railway Heritage would be £20. If it had TVL, £25, and with Durham Coastline, $29.99. So these are my final thoughts. Can't wait for Trainsmall 6. I believe it's going to be great. Hoping that one of these speculations does come true from me. I'm hoping that we at least get one of the DLCs I mentioned as well. Dovetail Direct is going to be watched for definite. I will definitely be there. Might be chatting, might not be. Just look out for me. Dovetail Direct is going to be good though. Sad to see Trainsmall 5 go, but has been for the most part fun to play all the new route DLCs that I have from the Trainsmall 5 time period, and hoping for new features like A to B route hopping, because that would be really cool. Improved guard mode, so being able to like move the luggage and put it in the correct locations, fixing lights and broken doors by just walking up to them, etc, etc. Improved scenario planner to include guard modes and make all platforms available. Station staff stuff, maybe, you know, not stuff for us to do, but like station staff NPCs doing stuff in the background. That would be nice. Unpredictable events, and of course improved Creators Club. And of course, thank you all for watching. So that was my speculation video on what possible UK DLCs we could get for Trainsmall 6. I really do sincerely hope that you enjoyed today's video. Please do make sure you hit the like button, subscribe with all notifications on so that you never miss the next video that I make, and comment down below what did you think. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. But until then, see you all later.